Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's the day that I talk marriage. I'm Leslie Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner and founder of Foundations Coaching. And today I'm talking about a topic that sort of goes along with what's going on in the news right now, but also is very, very specific to your house. And that topic is how to listen to your wife's feelings. Now, I work with a lot of men who are scientists, engineers, tech guys, and one of the things that gets most of these people or most of these men is this they're not comfortable with feelings, and they're not comfortable with their wife's what I call harder feelings. If your wife is upset, if she's frustrated, if she's angry, if she's hurt, and heaven forbid if she's crying. Um, for a lot of men, you just freeze. You just don't know what to do because, believe it or not, it is a bit of a stereotype, but it's also true. Is men take great pride in fixing things, and if your wife is upset about something, the the message that you take away frequently is that you did something wrong. And that's not true. You might not have done anything wrong. She just might have had a really bad day, or maybe one of the kids did something not so great. But you don't like to see her upset. You don't like to see her bothered. So what men frequently do, and if you're one of them, I get it, is that they try to fix it, or worse, and here's something that is really, really hard, guys. You try to talk her out of feeling the way she feels. Now, I'm sure you have experienced that this does not work. It actually makes things worse. Okay. Because, yes, it is true that you wouldn't be bothered by what's bothering her, right? My husband and I have gone round and round about this for years because I am always cold. And he has told me over the years that it's okay for me to put my cold hands or feet on him. Now, it is also true that I do not want him to put his cold hands and feet on me because I don't like to be cold. So something that bothers me doesn't bother him. And there are some things that are vice versa as well. Things that bother him that I just don't care about. And the answer isn't necessarily that we have to feel the same way about something. What is required is the ability to just listen. Okay. And this can be really, really hard, especially if your wife is upset with you, or something that was done that was your responsibility. And so there's a natural inclination that if your wife is upset with you, to become defensive and say that isn't what happened and you're wrong, or even if it did happen, you shouldn't be bothered by it because it's no big deal. Guys, I'm going to tell you that sets you down the path to either an incredibly unhappy marriage or divorce. And I don't want that to happen to you. So the trick is, how do you listen? Okay. And there's a leader in my field. His name is Harville Hendricks, and he has done a lot of work on something called imagotherapy. And he says, and I love this, if you listen long enough, everyone makes sense. And I loved that. I thought this was the absolutely fantastic quote, because you don't have to change anything. You don't have to agree. You don't even have to feel hurt by the complaints. But if you can learn to just be still and listen to your partner, she will feel deeply understood. And again, it's okay not to understand. And if there's something that's going on with your wife, if there's something that your wife is talking about, then, and you don't understand, here's something to say. In fact, there are two words that I use that are my best friends. I'm confused about this. Tell me more. okay? Or that's one of my biggest ones. I'm confused, right? I'm For some reason the second one just popped out of my head, and it'll come back to me in just a minute. But confusion is really good, and compassion. Sometimes it just is, wow, that sounds really awful. And you can even go a little bit deeper about, going back into the confusion, right? But confusion, compassion, and why I can't remember the third one off the top of my head, I don't really know, because I actually do talk about it all the time. But these are the kinds of things, you don't have to fix anything, right? And if it is, and again, if it is something that is between the two of you, ask for more information. Ask for what was missed. I get it. Our natural response is to be defensive, right? But we don't want to get defensive. Oh, there's the other one. I knew I was going to get it. Curious. So I'm curious. There's the one. Curious and confused and compassion, my 3 C's for communication. I am curious about this. Tell me more. I'm confused. I was with you until this part of the story, and then I got lost. Okay? These are really, really good things, because when you ask questions, not attack, not try to solve, but when you actually ask questions, she's going to feel heard. And learning to sit with her hard emotions, with her being upset, with her being hurt, with her being angry. I get it. That's hard. It's hard for anybody. I'm going to tell you, women don't do this well either. So this is not a male bashing thing. Being with hard emotions is very tough, right? And especially when somebody's experience is different from yours. But take that as a given, because no two people, I don't care how long they've been together, how similar their backgrounds have been, I don't care. You do not and never will experience things the same way. And the way that you grow and learn is to listen and not try to push away somebody else's experience because it makes you uncomfortable, but figure out what part of it you can embrace, right? I get upset. My husband's very easygoing. I'm the one who gets, there was a joke for years, and it's, that we would go visit friends, and we would usually end up staying Saturday night, and then it'll be like, okay, keep the Sunday paper away from Leslie, because I would get agitated by what I would read in the paper. It just became a joke. I still do. I get agitated by things, right? My husband's pretty even keeled. So he's had to learn to kind of, is this something that he needs to jump in on? Is this something he just needs to kind of nod his head and go, yeah, I understand, that really is upsetting to you? He doesn't get upset about the same things. Now, sometimes he does, but not always. And I usually tend to get more upset than he does. We're just two different people, right? It's not a big deal. He doesn't have to solve everything. Now, sometimes we have some really great conversations about it, because he'll ask me, right? He'll ask me, well, what about this situation is so upsetting to you? Because he doesn't assume he knows. He asks, because what he thinks might be upsetting me might not actually be upsetting me. And this kind of goes to, guys, the things that your wife complains about around the house. She's not really upset that the dishes are left in the sink. She's upset because she's asked about it, she's made requests, and the dishes are still in the sink. So even though you're talking about the dishes, what she's really, really upset about is the fact that she doesn't feel listened to and respected. Two different things, and let me tell you, you want to focus on the second one. But you can only do that if you can sit with what she's actually sharing, and try not to correct her, try not to take it personally, and just try to be understanding, because as Harville says, if you listen long enough, she will make sense. And if she doesn't, ask questions. So remember your 3 friends: confusion, curiosity, and compassion. So hopefully that gave you something to think about. And if you've got any questions about any of those things, or if you have a specific issue that goes on with your wife, let me know. Just put it down in the comments below and I will personally respond to you. And until next week, stay loving.